What's that? No, it hasn't been 6 weeks since the last one. What are you talking about? No, it's all in your mind. Yeah, no epilogue at all. Alright, we haven't changed locations. What are you talking about? Alright, where were we up to? The last one we did was 87, right? Alec, is that it? Okay. So, hopping right back into it, cutting back to the sandwich with no explanation whatsoever. Number 86 is Periphery. Periphery, however you folks pronounce it. Periphery, perhaps? Like, I understand if you want to say periphery, like peripheral vision. Whatever, or per referee. Like $1 per referee, whatever. It's a matter of preference, really. Tomato, tomato, So yeah, this band is one that I wasn't really sure about when I first discovered them. Because, there's some bands that, like, you discover them and you immediately just fall in love with them. You're immediately like, oh yeah, this is a band I'm going to be listening to for the rest of my days, But with Periphery, I was kind of like, there were some things I didn't like. I didn't like the singer's voice at times, at first. I thought it was a little too, what's the word, like, whiny sometimes. That's, like, and it reminded me, it was like, oh, this is emo metal. And I was like, well, no, there's a lot more to it than that. Just give it a chance. The first song I heard from them was Flatline, which I actually really liked. And I heard that probably 6-7 years ago, back in my SoundCloud days. And, I thought that was a pretty cool song. And I heard a few more by them, and they didn't really live up as much to the same one, so I forgot about them for a long time. And then, several years later, I rediscovered them, I guess through, like, Music Choice or something. I was like, oh yeah, Periphery, I think I have one or two of their songs. And so, I just popped on an album of theirs, and I was like, whoa, this is actually really good. And so I listened to, like, all, 4? Like, Periphery 1 through 4, and then I know they got, like, some other stuff out, too. I don't know. I think the vast majority of their discography is very solid. I think one of the deciding moments for me, because I was kind of on the fence about, like, oh, is this band, like, pretentious, Are they, like, super, like, they think they're, like, the most complex and best band of all time, because I couldn't tell. And I think the thing that really did it for me, that's like, nah, these guys are just having fun. It's like they're really smart, but they're also, like, chill. The moment that did that for me was the music video for, what is it? Is it Scarlet? I think Scarlet. Yeah. The one with the hot dogs. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure if you're familiar with the band. The bunch of guys, the hot dogs, and they start, like, eating each other, I guess, or whatever, and then the ketchup, like, comes alive and fights with the mustard, and it's like a giant ketchup spaceship that, like, has a tractor beam through the ceiling, and it beams up the mustard thing, and it takes off in there, and it's like, it gets really wild. And that music video is both hilarious and very, very clever, and just all around well done, I think. So that, to me, is the height of what the band is all about. And some of their other music videos, too, like the one for, what is it? Is it Marigold? No, I almost think it's a different one. Whatever, the one with the little, like, vegetable thing. I think, are they even vegetables? I don't know. They're like little, it's animated, and they got, like, there's, like, a bunch of wordplay in it, and there's, like, weapons and whatever, and they're, like, it's some kind of, like, action movie parody, but with, like, a little, like, fluffy vegetable thing. Like, I'm just picturing, like, there's, like, a lettuce guy or something, and then, like, an onion or whatever. They might not actually be vegetables, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So, Periphery, yeah. Check out Flatline, Scarlet, Marigolds, and, like, 2 others that I'm blanking on the names of right now. But if you like them, listen to their full albums. It's some pretty good stuff. Great band. Great band. Very solid choice. Alright, moving on. Number 85, Deftones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in case it wasn't clear, I'm a Deftones fan. I think the genre, I've been trying to think of what to It's not the reason for the hiatus or anything, but I've just been thinking about how to word my comments for this choice. Um, hmm. They're oh man, they're kind of like a standout in a genre that is extremely generic. So the genre basically being, well, rock music, I guess, right? Or sort of like a weird, like grunge inspired offshoot of rock, but that subgenre even is very oversaturated still, is what I'm saying. But Deftones, first of all, were like among the first to do that, and secondly, it's a completely different aesthetic. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Deftones, it's sort of like a grunge rock meets like new metal kind of thing. So it's like Nirvana mixed with like Linkin Park, I guess, kind of. And then they like put there's like a little bit of like progressive in there too. There's some like Tool and stuff, perhaps. You know, it's like they got a little bit of secret seasoning spices in there. But yeah, Nirvana and Linkin Park are definitely the two bands that they remind me of. Um, but yeah, Deftones is just such. I actually discovered them later in life. It's not like a band I even grew up with or anything. Um, I just discovered them not too long ago, and I was like, "Whoa, this is not what I." Because I've heard of them before, I just never listened to any of their music, and so I decided to give them a chance, and I was like, "Wow, this is not what I was expecting at all." I thought this was gonna be like some Limp Bizkit crap, you know, like I didn't I didn't know what I was in for, and yeah, the songs are very good, and it's very passionate. There's a lot of energy. I like the aesthetic. I like the amount of talent in the band is wow. I mean, I did not expect to like this band nearly as much as I did, but Deftones is a very good band, very solid, um, and yeah, I don't think they're overrated one bit. I mean, I think they deserve all the praise that they get. I really can't think of anything I don't like about them. It's a great band all around. Some songs like Minerva, Kim Dracula, My Own Summer, and Change, Genesis is from the new album, I think, and there's like one other one, just that I had fresh in my mind because I try to listen to a few songs from each of these before, like when they're coming up on the list, so that it's fresh on my mind. Um, but yeah, Deftones. Number 84, Soul States. Um, so some of you may know Soul State, may recognize Soul State, or at least the frontman of Soul State, Troy McHughray, from the Gentlemen, the parody band, I suppose you could say, from YouTuber Penguin Zero. Um, but actually, I was listening to Soul State before any of that, since like 2017. Actually, oh wait, longer than that, because I remember them from Space and Travel in like 2014, I think. Yeah, that was 2014, 15, somewhere around there. The Image of All is the song that got me into them. And for a while, that was the only one I knew, because that was like what was on Space and Travel. But there's more Smile, It's Only War, Absolution, and like a few others and stuff like that. And then eventually I just got to listening to whole albums, and I was like, wow, this is all, like, I enjoy all of this a lot. Um, so, great band. I don't know what to say. Based out of New Zealand. They're like a soft rock band. Alternative rock, perhaps, at times. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's really good. It's more about just, getting them out there than it is about the description. Okay, number 83. Now, this is one that has had some wild changes. At one point, I had this at like number 20 on the list. And another point, I removed it entirely. And then another one is like number 50. And then it was like number 90. And so I eventually settled at 83. I think that's pretty fair, to kind of like be the median thing. And that is the Punch Brothers. Now, the Punch Brothers, or actually, maybe even drop the. It might just be Punch Brothers. I'm used to things having the in front of them, things like this. But yeah, Punch Brothers, whatever. PB, peanut butter. With this one actually, I was introduced to them through my longtime roommate, Patty King of the Fiddles. Check him out. His channel's featured on mine. He actually says they're his favorite band of all time, which is quite the honor, because he just listens to so much music, and so. But for whatever reason, Punch Brothers was his favorite band, and you know what? The entire time that I lived with that man, I never once listened to Punch Brothers music. Like, I knew that was his favorite band, but I just never, like, bothered to look them up or anything, and I don't know why. I listened to so much music and discovered so much music during that time, but never that. And so it wasn't until after he moved out that I actually, like, somehow came back into my life, and I was like, oh, man, this is so cool. This is something we could have bonded over, It's so frustrating. But yeah, I'll just say some of their stuff is better than others. Some of their music I think is just kind of weak, where like, it's just kind of like, if you listen to a whole album of theirs by like song maybe 10 or so, you're like, all right, I think I get it. That's enough. But to have it in a playlist where on shuffle play, where it comes on once in a while and it'll be like one song, I think it's fantastic. Because the songs themselves are very solid. I just think, like, as albums, there's a little bit left to be desired, but I think it's made up for by just the excellent quality. Okay, songs. Movement and Location, Familiarity. There's an album, I think, called Phosphorescent, I want to say, something like that. And that's the album I listened to from them in making this decision, and I was like, Julep is another song. I think that's from that same album. And, like, I don't know, man. Like, they're a good band. I like their music. It's not a genre that this one's definitely the odd one out, because it's not rock or metal or anything. It's like, not kind of bluegrass-ish, but not. Oh man, now I'm wondering. It's like acoustic music, kind of bluegrass, but I don't know. Words are failing me right now. But yeah, Punch Brothers, whatever it is that they're doing, they keep doing it, and give them a listen. Some of their songs are pretty long, but it's worth it. They're a trip, and I see why he likes them. I see why you like him, Patty. If you're watching, great band. Okay, number 2, or oh, sorry, no, we're not that far enough yet. Number 82, Eldest 11. Again, I was listening since before it was cool. Space and travel, baby. That's how you discover music. So yeah, Eldest 11. I first heard the song Machine, and I thought it was very interesting. So I listened to that entire album, and every song, and I do mean every song on that album, what is it, Under a Black Flag? Every song on Under a Black Flag absolutely slaps. We got Fluid, Creep, Nightmare, Risk, Shapeshifters, Needed More, Oceans, Bittersweet, The Falls Inside. Oh man, Machines on there. You know, there's just that whole album. Just listen to it. Under a Black Flag by Eldest 11. Just listen to the album. Most of the songs are kind of somewhat similar, so you know you probably get the gist of it. But if you like it, then you'll like all the songs, I think. But I've listened to some of their other stuff too. Their album Hive, I believe, is newer. It has like a little bit different of a sound, but I still dig it like equally as much. And another album, it's songs like Bleach, and that might be Hive actually. I don't know. I listened to like 3 of their albums. Eldest 11, great band. They're very. It's like, yeah, it's a unique sound. Unique sound. I don't really know how I categorize them. I mean, alternative hard rock, maybe. Where like, I mean, they're one of those bands where I can't really tell if the lyrics are like actually profound, or if it's just like surface level, you know, emo stuff, because, you know, the lyrics can get kind of cringy sometimes, if I'm going to be honest. It's like, you know, I'm not the same, I've changed, but you're still here and I'm upset about that, you know, whatever. Like, it's just like there's really like cringy emo kind of lyrics, but I can't tell because the songs do get kind of complex sometimes, so sometimes I legitimately don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, maybe there is, like, you know, some kind of interesting story here that's not just like, you know, why I'm so sad, you know, I don't know. But I like the sound in any case, so good band, I like the music, yeah. Under a Black Flag, probably my favorite album from them. Okay, number 81, similar but different, Broken Vision. Now this one, this one's a little bit more, well, Broken Vision, okay. So I guarantee you haven't heard of this band. Their music has like 50 views on YouTube. Most of them are me. So I first heard them through the song Weathers, which is probably still my favorite of their songs. But Prayer is a pretty close second. Those two, I'd say, are the best of Broken Vision. They basically just have one album. It's called Seven Wars. That might be their entire discography is just that album, actually. So I think that's all I've heard from them. And there's like maybe 2 songs on there that I'm like, no. You know? And I mean, they're alright, but it's just, why would I listen to those 2 songs when I could have the other songs on the album, you know? So there's a couple forgettable ones on there. But for the most part, the songs are pretty good. I forget the names of the song, but I know my 2 favorites are Weathers and Prayer. And then there's like maybe two more from the album that I don't like, and then all the others are like good, you know. So, you know, maybe 81's a little bit high on the list, but hey, you know what? I already wrote it. It is what it is. Yeah, I like them. It's an interesting sound, interesting band. Definitely passion there as well. Just give them a listen. You'll see what I mean. Okay. Number 80. Here's one that has a lot of views, so I know a lot of people have heard of them. But I bet most people, like, if you have heard of them, you'll probably hear this and be like, oh, yeah. You know? Number 80 is Cell Dweller. Yeah. You forgot about Cell Dweller? Hey, you should be ashamed of yourself. No, seriously, I heard Cell Dweller's music a while back, when I was like 12 years old. And I thought it was all right. I didn't have a problem with it, but I was like, whatever, and like proceeded to listen to Linkin Park and whatever else 12-year-olds listen to, and so I rediscovered them, and it's like the same songs, and I liked the same songs more than I used to, and then songs like Switchback and The Last Firstborn and Frozen and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. So I checked out more. Into the Void, I think that's one of their newer songs. That one is amazing. And they just dropped a new album like last year, I think. What I like about Cell Dweller is that every album is like very different. But it's all like anything you hear by them, you can identify, oh yeah, that's Cell Dweller. Because of the signature style oh, wait a minute, it's one guy, isn't it? Yeah, that's even more impressive. Signature style that he has. It's this like, but it could be anything. That's the thing. It's like, even within one album, each song is like drastically different, but it's all the same kind of thing. It's really impressive what he's able to do. So it maintains this sort of electronic component, or bass, I guess, electronic core, with like it's usually rock or metal. Sometimes it could be like really heavy, like shredding metal, like bordering on like death metal or screamo, and then sometimes it's like your standard rock, power rock or hard rock or whatever. Sometimes it's just like straight up electronic, and sometimes it's like acoustic electronic, which I bet you didn't even know that existed. But and sometimes it's instrumental, and sometimes it's whatever, and then whenever there are lyrics, whenever there's like a video and a story and all this stuff, it's like Gorillaz or something, I mean, like the storylines within each album is like, if you're on the right channels on YouTube, you can look up in the descriptions for the videos, it'll give you a whole rundown of the story. In this album, we find Cell Dweller. He has created this. You get all the lore and everything. It's like Mechina, and I just think it's really cool. It's just really cool. And with me, with my synesthesia and everything, if I'm listening to it with headphones, it's like I close my eyes and I'm like, whoa, 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 like just the level of like I don't even like electronic music. I'll just go for that. I'll get that out in the open. There's very little electronic music that I like or will seek out. Some days I don't really mind it, but for the most part I just it doesn't really do much for me. But Cell Dweller, I mean, his electronic stuff, which is like most of his music, is like I feel that. So I don't know what it is, if it's the combination with the metal and the sci-fi and whatever else, but I mean, even the songs that are like softer, I still really love those. So I don't know what it is. Whatever he's doing right, he's stumbled onto the secret recipe that does it for me, because I don't even like electronic music, but I love Cell Dweller. And it's just like, it's all over the place for me. The kind of like things that my mind visualizes, the shapes and the patterns and the visual experience it is with your eyes closed is just unbelievable. So, Cell Dweller should probably be higher than 80, honestly. But I just don't know what it's kind of late to make any changes. All right. Number 79, Type O Negative. Some of the older listeners might remember this band. Type O Negative, there's really never been a band like them. They're their own thing. Yeah, it's really interesting. So they're kind of like in that whole grunge era, Nirvana, the Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, whatever. But not really, because sort of like goth grunge in a way. So basically, for those of you unfamiliar with the band and the lore, the main dude was like really tall. He was like 7 feet, taller than 7 feet, and he had like a really low, deep voice, and they would tune the instruments down like several octaves to match his voice, so everything's just like super low, and like it's like I don't even know if I could do an impression. It's even lower than that. I can't go that low. But it's not like whiny at all. That's one thing I really love about it, because that's one of the drawbacks of grunge to me. It's like it gets so like I can't listen to Pearl Jam. I just can't do it. I can't do Alice in Chains. It's like I understand that I want to be able to get into them, but I just can't do it because it's too whiny. You know, it's too whiny. That's the problem, man. You know, but Typo Negative, you eliminate that. It's grunge minus the whininess. It's just like it's precise and it's to the point, but it's also like their songs are like 8 to 12 minutes sometimes. I mean, you know, you get their 3 to 4 minute songs too, but you know, like you just never like they just do like whatever they want, but it's not like I don't know. They're a really cool band, and you know, really like if you watch footage of like their concerts and stuff, it's just a really interesting energy that they have going that I've never seen replicated with any other band. They have a lot of the common like you know rock and grunge and stuff tropes, and all that, so that gives you a sense of familiarity. But a lot of things just really specific to the band, and okay, so to give you an example, songs like I Don't Want to Be Me, Christian Woman, if you want to just get right up in there. Anesthise, Life Is Killing Me, probably one of the more popular ones. There's another one I'm blanking on. I don't know, but I've heard most of their discography by this point, and I love it. I've loved everything I've heard from them. They're just a really cool band, just really cool. So check them out, you'll see what I mean. Number 78, Demon Hunter. So you may remember Demon Hunter from my miscellaneous singing videos, because there's a song of his that I commonly that's in the set list for those called The Wind, which is actually from a collaborative Christmas album that he contributed basically that song to in like 2010 or whatever. And that song, while still my favorite Demon Hunter song, and one of my favorite songs of all time, is the outlier in his discography, because that's like, there's that song and then there's everything else, because Demon Hunter is a metalcore band. So, The Wind is not a metalcore song at all, but oddly it sort of fits in there, which is really surprising. But, yes, the Soldier Song, and, let's see, Infected, Relentless Intolerance, you know, the rest of the songs, just, you know, Demon Hunter, I think, I don't know what to say, really cool band. I like that there's like, you know, again, we go again with the stories, you know, stories and everything, but it's not like overdone or anything. It's like, it's just great. I like how it's metalcore, you know, so like it can be melodic. Usually the choruses are more melodic and everything, and they get stuck in my head. I'll find myself humming, you know, deep inside of the thousand, you know, whatever it's, you know, I'm infected. Ooh, yeah, sorry, I apologize for that. But you know, it's very hummable, but it's also like it's got that oomph that you need, you know, with the screaming and the delivery and everything. So it's like it's like hard and gritty and all that, but it's also melodic and story oriented, and it's like all these things, and it's precise and like well produced. So like even the scream vocals are like clean. I understand I'm not using that word properly, but if you know what I mean, it's like crisp. It's like finely, uh, edited. I get or not edited, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I do know what I'm trying to say. Demon Hunter's a great band. Give them a listen. All right. We have I probably got like 1 more minute out of this. I don't think that's enough time to get to the rest, but we got like 9 more or 8 more in. So at this rate, we'll have what, like 8 more parts to the series? Yeah, why not? Okay. Well, remember, each musical actor is better than the last. So the ones we got coming up, I'm really excited for. And each installment, we're upping the stakes a little bit more. So, tune in to the next one, where we discuss bands that are even better than these.